It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We're at Moda Center in downtown Portland, Oregon. Tonight, it's the Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Utah Jazz. The opening tip's won by the Utah Jazz. Jay, 48 wins for Utah last year. Good for 5th in the West. What's the forecast now?
I know Jazz fans may hate me on this one, but they'll be 5th or worse. And the reason why I'm saying this is that every team above them has 2 superstars or more. Who's going to be that second superstar to go along with Donovan Mitchell is a big-time question for Quinn Snyder.
Going to launch beyond the arc. To McCollum. To Whiteside. Rudy Gobert sends it away. And he finishes at the rim.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Mitchell guarded by Nurkic. Nothing going here on that drive. To Conley. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. For 3. Pulled down by Whiteside. Lillard to Whiteside. Slams it down.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Jazz have the ball. Conley. And the finish at the rim.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
McCollum into the front court. 2-point advantage. To Whiteside. Short jumper misses. Across the timeline, it's Conley. He'll run the offense.
2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Lillard. That one off the mark. It's no good. Conley into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Has a look. Mitchell's shot comes up empty. Lillard to Nurkic. Oh, Yusuf Nurkic. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Conley. Down low for Gobert. Off the assist.
Had a difficult first quarter. Couldn't really find his rhythm, but you got 3 more left to play.
Trailblazers take over. Probing the defense. McCollum to Lillard. From long range, he engulfed him that time.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it for the first quarter. The Jazz out in front. One quarter down. Neither side really distinguished itself. Jay, what stood out?
And when both teams are playing at this level, it just continues to reaffirm that I was excited to watch both of these teams play this entire week. It's been a solid game so far, but this has a chance to be a great one down the stretch.
From the painted area, won't go down. Conley into the front court. Lead is 2. Rudy Gobert returns last year. The Jazz go on their run. Jay, how reliant is Utah on the Frenchman?
I would say pretty heavily, considering he's the reigning NBA Defensive Player of the Year. This team has to win it on the defensive end. That is the mentality of the Utah Jazz.
The screen sets him up for 2.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Screen coming. McCollum to Lillard. Fine to shoot. From the outside, no good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Conley matched up with Lillard. That's out. Last touch by Mike Conley. Lillard to Nurkic. Oh, Yusuf Nurkic. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
To Joe Ingles. Down to Gobert. Missed a wide open look. Rudy Gobert able to recover with the block.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
It's Jazz ball. They get it down to Gobert, leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Lillard. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for 3.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
Nothing going here on that drive. Conley. Down low for Gobert. Throws it down.
I mean, with so much talk these days about three-point shooting and the spacing on the court and having versatile athletic wings, sometimes when you have a dominant big man, you keep giving him the ball. You let him be that anomaly.
And he throws it down. Big finish for Hassan Whiteside.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Mitchell with the basketball. 14-13 our score. It's a 1-point game. To Gobert. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Conley, Mike Conley, 3 for 3 in this first half.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
To Lillard. Here's a chance from long range. No good. That's great defense.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it for the first half. Jazz have the lead.
Thanks, guys.
Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one.
The Jazz put together a nice half and were rewarded with a solid lead.
It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets. For the Utah Jazz, the Trailblazers are down at halftime and in need of some momentum. They don't have a single player that can claim double figures in scoring. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Portland Trailblazers.
Game track. Field goals.
The Portland Trailblazers just couldn't get any of their shots to go in those first 2 quarters. They desperately need someone to step up and catch fire for them in the second half.
The shooting was certainly worst in the opening quarter.
Player of the half.
Gobert did a remarkable job of swatting shot after shot. Scorers have got to be thinking twice when he's within range.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half.
Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
49 wins for the Trailblazers last year. That was good for third in the West. Jay, what's your projection for this season?
Well, the projection...
Got a piece of it!
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Utah with the possession. Conley up against the Weber State product. To Gobert. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Fires the 3. He was all over him. Lillard to Nurkic. Yusuf Nurkic looking good. 4 for 5.
Ed, I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
A drive down the lane, but the shot stays out. McCollum with the basketball. His guys down 3. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
When the ball is in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Conley to Gobert. Shot from the lane won't go. Another follow, still no good. It's Portland ball. Lillard to Nurkic. It's Lillard for 2. Deep 2 there, won't go. Hassan Whiteside. He's 3 for 7.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
Joe Ingles. Here comes the screen. 4-3. Message received. Well defended.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
McCollum gets a look. Can't hit.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
To Conley. Mitchell. And that's rebounded by Portland. Lillard to Kent Bazemore. Lillard, work it down to Nurkic. Fires the three, not going down here. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Hassan Whiteside. Conley sizing up the all-star Lillard. To Joe Ingles. Conley to Joe Ingles. Has a chance. Add 2 points to the board.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping.
Lillard, shot off the mark. Good defense.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
And they called the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
There's a very fine line between maximum effort and carelessness. I'm willing to live with a few mistakes and maximal effort than having to constantly remind my players to close out.
Knocks down the second free throw.
Get it, shoot it again.
Whoops, that won't go. Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the way. The Jazz out in front. It's Utah basketball as we begin the fourth quarter, and you have to figure they like this spot they're in, entering the quarter with the lead on the road.
Yeah, but Ed, I disagree. As a player, I'm not really worried about how big the lead is right now. I'm worried about what kind of energy we're going to enter the fourth quarter with, more importantly.
To Gobert. He shoots. Oh, off the mark.
And this guy's going to come out of this game with bruises all over his body like a major heavyweight fight. He took some hard fouls in the first half. That's really deterred him from being aggressive.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock.
Damian Lillard.
To Gobert. Joe Ingles. Here comes the screen. Knocks it down from mid-range.
The defense should have picked up on that action. That's going to cost them.
Lillard to Nurkic. And he's going to the line to shoot.
Yes, I love this move. Send him to the line. Chances are probably good he doesn't make both. And you also stop the clock while getting another possession.
And hits the first free throw. Two for two on that trip. That's out. Last touch by Rudy Gobert. McCollum. To Lillard. Trying to cash in, unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys now trailing by a point. Down to Gobert. Oh, emphatic slam.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was All-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
To Lillard. Here comes the screen. Lillard to McCollum. And draws the foul.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
Yusuf Nurkic. Couple of free throws on the way. He's perfect from the line so far. First free throw is good. So he hits the first, misses the second. Utah's got it. Conley matched up with Lillard. From the painted area, won't go down.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Nurkic to McCollum. Down to 5 on the 24 to Lillard. Beyond the arc for 3. And he's fouled. Good play by the shooter.
You know what? That's an even better play by the defender. I like the foul there. Send a message. Nothing easy.
He's going to have to earn it now. Off the mark on the first free throw. Second and 3, got it. Mitchell with it up top. His guys find themselves trailing by a bucket. To Conley. Deep left corner. Joe Ingles. To Conley. Has a look. It's good.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there is a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him.
Lillard for 2. Shot by Lillard, no good. Joe Ingles to Conley. Here comes the screen. Has a chance. The shot by Conley, no good. Portland down to 4 to shoot. Dame rises. Shot by Lillard, no good. Desperation shot for the win. No time left on this period, and it's deadlocked, all tied up. And we're underway here in the extra period. Conley, down low, it's Mitchell. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Some players are so cerebral. I'm not even paying attention to the dunk as much as I'm paying attention to the player pointing and communicating to everybody his team needs to guard on the next play down the court.
To McCollum. To Lillard. Shot by Lillard, no good.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Conley. Mitchell against the Lehigh product. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, knocks it down.
Well, just the ability to step back and be able to knock that shot down, think about what that does to the defender, Ed. It makes the defender come out, which leads to the next setup, which is an easy drive to the rim. Look for that one coming soon.
And the result this time, another trifecta. Oh, Yusuf Nurkic. He's now 5 for 6.
He's been doing this for years, the physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Lillard. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. And counted at the rim. Trailblazers with the basketball. Lillard to McCollum. To Lillard. Nothing going here on that drive. Damian Lillard. And scores. Nice move, Jay.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
Conley matched up with Lillard. Oh, he was wide open. And it's not going to be pretty when they watch the video. Someone's getting chewed out.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Can't connect. End to end on that one. 94 feet for the basket.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Lillard to McCollum. To Lillard. Lets it fly from long range, and Damian Lillard, right in his wheelhouse, hits the catch-and-shoot three.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Utah ball. Mitchell, and he hits. Oh, that one could be the dagger as they've opened it up here in the final minute of overtime.
I don't know about that, Ed. I've been a part of a game where we came back from 10 with a minute left to go. Anything is possible.
Would you call that a miracle minute? To McCollum. It's Lillard for two. Shot by Lillard, no good. There's the whistle and an intentional foul. Just their first in the final 2 minutes, so no free throws yet. They'll take the ball out of bounds. And there's the foul. Gonna play this one out, even though it seems all but over in a 9-point game. First one goes down. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. We'll get a stoppage here. Timeout Portland. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. McCollum. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah. Mitchell with the basketball. The lead is 11. To Conley. Five to shoot for Utah. 24-second violation. It's the Jazz who come away with the victory as they win it in overtime. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Jazz clocked some overtime for today's win. It was impressive to watch them battle fatigue on their way to a positive result. In the end, their perseverance was rewarded in a grueling game. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Utah Jazz, the Trailblazers put up a fight, but didn't get their hands raised at the end. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Portland Trailblazers.
Game track. Assists.
The Utah Jazz were very impressive in the way they shared the ball, giving each other the opportunity to not just take good shots, but great shots. That's what I believe made the difference for them in this game, that being the great assists.
Player of the game.
And while you can't track leadership on a stat sheet, it was by far the most impressive thing he did in this game.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show.
Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.